also know that you're talking to me and you're asking for help, and there's at least some part of you that wants to live. Most of the time, the person will start to identify and come up with reasons why they want to live. Find out why they have not killed themselves yet. Reasons why they're reaching out to you and talking to you, all right? Don't move into safety planning too quick. There are no quick fixes here, all right? Don't immediately assume that a person, if they're talking to you about suicide, they immediately need to go to the hospital. It's not always the case. Hospitalization is for individuals who cannot stay safe on their own. It may make you feel better, but it may not be the best place for this person you're talking to. In fact, it may make the person less likely to reach out the next time they're in a crisis. I remember particularly one woman who, was talking to they were talking to their hairdresser and mentioned suicide. And the woman, as soon as this person got up and left, called the police. The police knocked down the door, dragged her out in handcuffs, put her in the back of the car, took her to the psychiatric ER, and she stayed there for however long they could keep her, 72 hours. And she was very, very reluctant to ever talk to anybody about her suicidal thoughts ever again, and put her at greater risk for dying by suicide. So hospitalization is not always the best case scenario, okay? If the person is intoxicated when you're talking to them, it may be best to get them to the hospital. If they've cut or swallowed or inhaled anything or inhaled carbon monoxide, certainly yes, get them to the hospital. If they cannot guarantee their safety, and I don't mean them just saying, yeah, I'll be fine, I'm trying to placate you, these are the times when the person needs medical interventions. Otherwise, they don't always need medical intervention. All right. So let's talk about asking about firearms. Even if their method is not or their plan is not a gun, even if it's dad's gun or antique, always ask if they have firearms in the house, all right? If the person does have a gun and is actively suicidal and is asking you to come over and talk, do not meet them at their house, all right? Meet them somewhere else. If the person has a history of violence towards you, do not meet this person face to face. Try to get them help elsewhere. Get a family member, one of their family members involved. You will not be the best person to get that person help, okay? If the person has been giving is path warm, remember we talked about that acronym. If they're giving that is path warm warning signs and has not been heard from in a while, and if you fear that they have died by suicide, do not go over to their house. Have the police or have the ambulance do a wellness check on them. Always make your safety and your sobriety a top priority. So one of the things that is important is to ask about any previous attempts. Ask if they've ever attempted before. Have they overdosed? How many times? Attempts, again, tend to be more and more lethal the more times they've tried. And the most important thing is that middle